The drift into weakness isn't random, it's engineered decline. We stand for disciplined men over the comfort that softens. Strength is mislabeled as dangerous, yet we believe empowered men build stronger families, stronger communities, and a better society. History does not support that belief. In fact, it proves the opposite. Every stable civilization, every great leap forward was built by men who carried responsibility, practiced discipline, and governed themselves before trying to govern anything else. They built from the inside out. Theodore Roosevelt warned us over a century ago. He saw that comfort would become the greatest enemy of strong nations. He called it the soft life, a life of unearned ease that produces men who cannot endure hardship when it inevitably arrives. This is not nostalgia for a bygone era. This is pattern recognition, the same patterns that have repeated for millennia. Today, this is not motivation. Motivation is fleeting. This is a manifesto, a declaration of principles. 10 commandments for men who refuse to dissolve into the comfortable weakness of the age. We believe disciplined masculinity builds stronger families, stronger communities, and a better society. Here's the path. Principles practiced daily, not slogans. Begin with responsibility. Family, community, and legacy strengthen when disciplined men lead. Let's begin. First, reject victimhood. Modern culture teaches men to see themselves as victims of circumstance, genetics, or society. Psychology shows that men who adopt a victim identity experience higher stress hormones, lower drive, and reduced problem-solving ability. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. Responsibility reverses this. It is the antidote. Taking ownership, even for things outside your control, empowers you to act. George Washington took responsibility for failure publicly and gave credit privately. That is why men followed him without coercion. They followed his character. Religion reinforces the same law of personal accountability. The Quran states that man will have nothing except what he strives for. The Bible teaches that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your identity is your choice. Masculinity begins where excuses end. Second, embrace hardship. Modern life trains men to chase comfort as the ultimate goal. Neuroscience shows that prolonged comfort overstimulates dopamine, creating a feedback loop of craving and dissatisfaction. It weakens motivation, discipline, and resilience. It makes you soft. Napoleon Bonaparte hardened his soldiers through difficulty, forcing them on long marches with limited rations, because he understood that ease produces fragility. Hardship forges strength. Voluntary hardship strengthens the brain's stress adaptation systems. It inoculates you against future involuntary pain. Comfort weakens them, leaving you exposed and unprepared. Religion has never glorified ease. It glorifies enduring through trial. Prophets, leaders, and warriors were not born in comfort. They were shaped through trial. Comfort feels good, but it makes men brittle. Third, practice stillness. Modern men are chronically overstimulated. Endless scrolling, pornography, noise, and constant input fracture attention and destroy focus. Studies show this constant overstimulation weakens the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for discipline, restraint, and long-term thinking. It is the executive center of your mind. Frederick the Great demanded silence and order in his camps. Because clarity requires focus, and focus requires the absence of noise, masculinity requires stillness, the ability to sit with your own thoughts, to plan, to strategize. Without silence, strength decays into frantic, purposeless action. Fourth, master your emotions. Modern culture encourages emotional impulsivity, framing it as authenticity. Biology disagrees. Regulating the amygdala, the brain's fear center, defines high performers. Men who stay calm under stress perform better, lead better, and earn trust. Anchors in the storm. A man without self-control is like a city without walls. Islam teaches that true strength is shown through restraint in anger, not through explosive force. Emotion is human. It is a signal, but control over that emotion is masculine. Fifth, seek respect, not approval. Modern men are trained to seek approval from the crowd. Social validation hijacks dopamine systems, creating an addiction to external praise. This conditions men to chase praise instead of purpose, to be popular instead of principled. Napoleon said a soldier will fight long and hard for a small symbol of meaning. It is the why that fuels the how. Masculine men do not perform for applause. Their audience is their own conscience and their God. They build internal standards and let the world adjust. Approval is fickle and fades. Respect, earned through character, remains. Sixth, understand true strength. Modern culture lies about strength, equating it with brute force and aggression. Strength is not toxic. It is a tool. Its morality is determined by the man who wields it. Discipline is not oppressive. It is the framework for freedom. Leadership is not domination. It is service and stewardship. Strength without morals is dangerous, a wildfire without containment. But weakness without structure is catastrophic. It is a vacuum that invites chaos. Religion praises strength paired with trustworthiness, courage paired with compassion. History proves that strong men with codes of honor stabilize societies. Weak men rationalize and blame. Strong men protect and build. Seventh, find a mission. Modern men are drifting, lost in a sea of trivialities. No direction, no mission, no structure. Psychology confirms that men without a compelling purpose fall into addiction, depression, and resentment. A man needs a dragon to slay. Napoleon said a soldier will fight long and hard for a small symbol of meaning. It is the why that fuels the how. Masculinity requires a mission greater than your own comfort and survival. It demands a legacy. Eighth, build competence. Modern systems encourage dependency, outsourcing skills we once held sacred. Men who cannot provide, fix, decide, or endure experience chronic anxiety and anger. They feel useless because they are. Competence builds confidence at a neurological level. Every skill you master is a brick in the fortress of your self-reliance. Dependency builds fear. Religion emphasizes provision for one's family and community. Science confirms that mastering skills creates mental and emotional stability. Masculinity is built through usefulness. Be the man who can. Ninth, speak truth. Modern culture often disguises cowardice as kindness, promoting a peace that is merely the absence of conflict. Avoiding necessary truth to avoid immediate conflict creates long-term chaos. It is a debt that accrues interest. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught that the strong man is not the one who overpowers others in a fight, but the one who controls himself when angry. This control allows for truth without destruction. Strength is calm but firm. It does not shy away from difficult conversations. It handles them with courage and integrity. The final truth, the 10th commandment, binds all of this together. Masculinity does not need to be explained. It does not need to be debated on social media. It needs to be embodied, lived, demonstrated. George Washington did not lecture men into loyalty. He lived a standard that compelled it. His actions were his argument. History follows the same cycle without exception. It is a law of nature. Weak men create hard times. Hard times force strong men to rise. Strong men restore order and create good times. Good times, in turn, create weak men. And the cycle begins again. The question is not whether modernity is failing. The signs are everywhere. The question is whether you will decline with it or discipline yourself to rise out of it. Masculinity does not disappear. It is a timeless archetype. It waits until men decide to reclaim it. If this spoke to you, share it with a brother who feels the decay but refuses to surrender to it. Because disciplined men are the antibodies to societal collapse. They stabilize collapsing systems. Gentlemen, choose the hard road. It is the only one that leads anywhere worth going. Stay disciplined. Subscribe for more new videos weekly.